And we are live. Good morning, everybody. It's your favorite truck driver in the whole wide world, ex-truck driver in the whole wide world. It's Bitcoin Ben here, having another busy morning and running around like a chicken with my head cut off. It's just one of those days. Soon, Patrick will be joining us. I didn't send him the links as early as I usually do, and I had like 1,000 things freaking going off, and he will be joining us soon. It was my bad, not his. So 73,600 right now, I think, for the price of Bitcoin. All right, no, that was our high. Right now, we're sitting at about 72.4. This, I keep telling everyone, the price is going to keep going up. All right, just keep going up because it's programmed to go up. Now, on today's show, the long one, the long show, the hour and a half private server, it's every day, guys. Over in Asia, they're changing the rules where Asians can now purchase ETFs of the Bitcoin here in America. They're trying to front run China. It's amazing how many places. Did you see the BlackRock ETF yesterday? They bought over, what was it? Over $1 billion of friggin' Bitcoin yesterday. It was the highest ever for Bitcoin that they ever purchased. Morning, brother.
Morning. How you doing?
Friggin' crazy busy. How are you, bro?
Doing fine.
Yep. Sorry for my tardiness on sending you your links.
Yeah. Stuff happens.
Right now, everything's happening. That's what's crazy about it. When do you think that it's going to quit going up?
Never.
It's. I had a phone.
It's going to happen.
I had a phone
Go ahead.
call with a lady at an over-the-counter over in South Korea, right? And they're like, oh, the largest order they sold yesterday was 20 Bitcoin. You know why? They only
available.
Right. They only had 27 Bitcoin available yesterday at the over the counter. No one who has a good chunk of Bitcoin selling it.
Right. So are you saying that the price is being suppressed?
No, I'm saying the price is going up.
Yeah, but still, just because it's going up doesn't mean it's going up at the rate that it should be.
Oh, yes. And I'll tell you why, or at least what I think, then you let me know what you think. I ran a test this week. I bought about 20 grand worth of actual Bitcoin using, now what's that app? Cash app, right? They're only letting me move $2,500 a week of actual Bitcoin. Now I can buy as much as I want, but they're only letting me move $2,500 a week. That seems a little fishy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I think, and I've heard this from other people who are like, dude, even the surprise, treasure. And this guy has some cryptos on his treasure. And every time he tries moving it, right before he actually hits the transfer button, it says, sorry, you're having connectivity issues.
I don't have that problem with my Exodus wallet.
Me neither. That works every damn time on my crypto only laptop from CALIX Solutions.
That is correct.
It's I think that these exchanges, I think these exchanges are literally, that's why freaking Coinbase keeps on shutting down, because people are trying to buy and move. One guy I talked to yesterday, Coinbase isn't letting him move his coins for like 12 or what was it, like 12 days? Something like that. Now, what the hell? Because they know there's a bank run on Bitcoin. What are you seeing out there?
I'm not. There's nothing that is glaring. It's just the feel is not right. It's just, I mean, 3-4 months ago you could move stuff at will. Now all of a sudden we're, up 30%, and everybody's getting hinky that they don't have enough Bitcoin. Well, to be honest with you, if you feel you don't have enough, start buying some MicroStrategy stock. I'm not kidding.
Hey, he's playing it right.
Oh, he is. He is. You can do that. You can also, there are some ETFs out there. BitW is one that has the top 10 cryptos in it. You can buy that at any brokerage.
Yeah.
BITW is the symbol for it. You can find it online. I can get it at Schwab. And it's Bitcoin, Ethereum, and then the remaining 8.
Yeah.
Without having to go through the KYC, other than what you did to get your brokerage account. So there is that. You're not going to be high and dry. You're just not going to be holding the coin, which we know.
Not your keys, not your coins.
Yep. Better than a sharp stick in the eye.
That's true.
So I was curious because I'm watching this and I'm going, for as little as there is available, in the marketplace. And we've talked about this before, that every time there was a pump and dump, I always had the sense that the little guys were out there picking up a Satoshi here and a Satoshi there, and the big guys were thinking that they were going to get over on everybody. No single raindrop thinks it's responsible for the flood, and eventually, I have enough raindrops, and there's not any water to go around.
Yeah,
and that seems to have been the pattern that over time has diminished the pool of available Bitcoin. And what you've heard today from South Korea, they're so ornery.
yeah.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Now, do you think the higher the price will go, that will flush out a lot more like weekends? Because what I think is going to happen over the long haul, and I mean this is an evolution over the next probably 10 or 20 years, that Bitcoin is going to be huge, and everyone's going to be able to get paid in actual Bitcoin in like real time. And that eventually everyone will have a wallet or an account that their savings account will actually be Bitcoin. Then as we go along, Satoshis are going to matter.
Yeah.
Where if you have 100,000 Satoshis, it's going to be like you have $100,000 right now. When that happens, I think that AI, robotics, reward programs are going to be paying out in Satoshis. And we have examples of that, of the software that MicroStrategies is putting out to their millions of users, is if you are on time with sending your links to your friend up in St. Louis, you get rewarded with 100 Satoshis. So it's a reward program actually built into a job. And I think that's really the future. Is it's there's so many ways that this is gonna go. I mean, you'll earn money, you'll earn actual Bitcoin from your insurance company for not getting into an accident that year. Shit like that. And as we know, it's always going to keep going up. This is going to eventually, maybe 50 years, or I really don't know how long, but like longer down the road, this has the potential to eliminate poverty. Because I think human attention is going to be the most valuable and sought after commodity out there, because and people will reward you. They're already doing it in all the brand new TVs. They have wallets actually built in to the TVs, where if you watch an ad, if you agree to watch an advertisement, they will pay you in some Satoshis.
Is it Satoshis or is it BAT?
Well, which one do you, there's going to be several options. Like X, I think the reward token on X is actually going to be Doge.
Yeah, it could be, or SHIB.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you'll be able to choose which one you want to, tip them in. Because every website or every social media platform will actually be a YouTube, a Twitter, a Facebook. It's all just software. They're going to offer everything. And what we're going to end up is we are going to NFL social media, where you have your X team and you got your Facebook team, and they're going to be, competing, and they're all going to offer, mark my words, and tell me if you think I'm wrong here, that within 2 years, X will rival Netflix.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he has some phenomenal plans for that platform. Absolutely phenomenal platform. And his plans are I mean, he's made no bones about it either.
Yep.
That it's going to be a financial instrument. He cut his teeth on that with PayPal.
Yep. That was his baby.
Yeah. He went to school on that. So I don't necessarily disagree with the get on my platform and get some free cryptos. I think there'll be a gold rush to it, and then the economics of it may change people's minds, just because not the users, but the providers, the business models.
What do you mean could you explain that a little bit more, as in you think it'll cost them too much?
I think there will be some that understand how to do it properly, and then there are those that won't have an appreciation for the customer or the client, the user, to dot the I's and cross the T's in order to receive their rewards. It could be interpreted by the users, the customer, as being too rule heavy. There's a number of things that could be problematic, and if the model isn't run properly, it could be too costly. But I think the rush to do it is going to be very attractive. And I say this based on my experience having been in the co-branded credit card universe for a while. That there was this notion that, gamers, people who are looking for points, are going to do anything and everything to become your card holder because you're going to give them such attractive offers. Well, the users got really good at it, and they bounced around from one place to the other and sucked them all dry. And now, that variant has turned its has kind of morphed into, rather than what it had been, now I get 3 times points, 5 times points, 4 times points for using my card to buy different things. Like the Southwest card, you get 3 times points if you buy cards or airplane tickets with that, but 1 time points if you use it for gas.
Yeah.
Capital One has some others, and the model is going to be comparable to that in some form or fashion. But ultimately, what's going to have to come in addition to that are fees, because they're going to have to offset that cost center with a revenue stream.
And I think that's what he's actually doing. That's why I officially have a blue check mark now. After years of trying to verify, they wouldn't give me a check mark. I even sent them in all of my trademark information. Like, look, I legally own the name Bitcoin Ben. It's mine. It's trademarked. No one else can use it. Sorry. Try again later. And I told you, who the hell was I talking to? A guy out in San Francisco who works in Silicon Valley, and his wife works at Twitter or X. She survived the hatchet because, they're friends of mine. They're very freedom-oriented, very conservative people. And the word from her to her husband, and I hope she's not watching, is that Elon is actually going to name the entertainment sector of Xflix. Instead of Netflix, it's going to be Xflix.
Right.
Which makes sense. Why wouldn't you? Fuck them.
Right.
You know?
Yep. Hold, please.
Nope, they can kiss my ass. It wasn't my wife. So now if she was calling, I would have to pick it up. Because she never calls. Well, she only calls me when she accidentally dials me and not her boyfriend. So,
Yeah, I have the same problem.
It rarely happens.
I have the same problem.
Hang on a second. Word from the sponsor, everyone. Be right back.
Are you buying and selling cryptos on the same laptop that you're using to browse the internet, read your email, and visit social media sites? If so, you're exposing your cryptos to theft. Whenever you're online, you're at risk of getting hacked and having your identity stolen. How would you feel if someone stole all of your cryptos? What would that do to your finances? Guard your cryptos with a safe and secure laptop from CALIX Solutions. Each laptop is set up just for you and your cryptos, and then we walk you through exactly how it works. Don't risk the security of your cryptos. Order a crypto laptop from CALIX Solutions now to secure your crypto future. Learn more at calixsolutions.io.
Yep. And this is what I think is going to be the real use case of like the Lightning Network and Liquid. Is it's going to allow you to actually put a price on the internet. Because if you look at Brave browser or what's that other plugin? Well, I can't remember off the top of my head, but where you can actually earn money as you're interacting with the platform. Well, you have the actual like basic attention token. You have Theta, has Theta Fuel. You have Litecoin, has that. Litecoin is kicking ass on video games. Their rate of adoption with the video game sector is off the charts because you can send half of a penny and it don't cost you nothing really on chain. And then if you use Litecoin on the Lightning Network, it's like a fraction of a fraction of a fraction of a fraction of a penny. And I think with AI and robots, have you seen some of the robots lately?
No.
Oh, on this evening's 3-hour show on the private server, I'm going to show you the latest Tesla robot. This thing is freaking nuts. It folds clothes, and the most recent update, it moves a lot quicker. It's fluid. And it's all ran with AI. You can finally have that housekeeper that you've always wanted, Patrick.
The robot one from the Jetsons?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hazel? Was that Hazel? I think it was Hazel.
Yeah, it was Hazel. Oh, my God, we're old. Well, you're older than me, so that's all that matters. I hope I never catch up to you.
Well, yeah. I would concur.
Where do you see this all going? And when we switch over to the private server here in a couple minutes, I hope you can hang out because I want your opinion on Trump cleaning house on the Republican group.
Yeah, the RNC.
Yes, the RNC. He on his is it his son's wife?
Yes.
Yeah. She went in there and she started handing out pink slips like they were candy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And I really want to hear your thoughts on that because You know they were all swamp.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, that'll be fun.
Yeah, oh, that's I. In fact, we're actually going to do that now. Evan, if you want to join us on the private server, there is a QR code right up that way. Join us on the private server on YouTube. You can join the private server just hitting the join link on YouTube and also on Rumble. Join us on Rumble Locals. Now, Patrick, for those interested in one of our laptops, where can they reach us at? And how would you prefer them to reach you?
Oh, you can go to our website, www.calixsolutions.io. You can also text us at 702-845-8276 or give us a call. Be glad to answer any questions. You can send us an email, info@calixsolutions.io. Yep, all of the above.
All right, guys, we're switching over to the private server. We will be right back. Hold, please. Wish I had like some Jeopardy music playing right now.
Oh, we can get some.
Barrel, 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 barrel. There we go. Right. Hold, please. There we go. All right, now we are on the private server. All right. What are your thoughts about what Trump and Laura did to the RNC?
All right, Alexis,
Thanks,
you.
Alexis.
RNC Chairwoman Ronna McDaniel.
Oh, that's me.
Now,
That's me.
Ronna, thanks
Hold
for
on.
being here. Your
Hold on.
thoughts
I was looking up
we have obviously
looking up some information, and this was actually about Ronna McDaniel, excuse me, who was replaced by Trump. She has had just nothing but a losing record as being the chairwoman of the Republican National Committee. Time in and time out. At the midterms, the full elections, Republicans got their clocks cleaned. She also happened to be Mitten's niece. How convenient. So there was an infusion of the Utah conservative there, who's anything but. So she was carrying water for the old guard of the Republican Party, the rhinos.
Yep.
And at least she was gracious in having taken a hard one.
Yeah, but did she really have a choice?
No, she didn't. She did not. There was no question about it.
This is now Trump's Republican Party.
Right.
No longer there. Trump basically said, you're either with us or you're a Democrat.
Right.
Off. Rhinos, bye-bye. And from what I've heard, the amount of money flooding into the Republican Party now is like kicking ass.
Well, that's good because they were doing a horrible job of fundraising.
Yeah, because they don't want Trump to win.
No.
Because they're swamped.
Right. Right.
We finally have a Republican Party that is unified under freedom and true Republican philosophy. And the rhinos, they were only controlled opposition. If you look at the early 90s, and what year was it, like 92 or 94, where the Republicans finally took back control of the House? They hadn't had any power for like 40 years.
Yeah, it was with Newt Gingrich.
Yeah, old Newt. That guy, he's all about Trump. And I don't remember. Do you remember like 1994 and what that was like?
Yeah, well, he had the contract with America, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a very divisive approach, in that, there were a lot of people saying, well, why do you have to do this? And I think in the next session of the House, they lost control, but they were able to get a number of pieces of legislation through under his watch with Contract for America, because there were a number of things that needed to be done. And it became a rallying cry, actually, for the Democrats, more so than anything else, to go, hey, we can't let these guys get their shit together.
This has been a long road, because ever since I think the progressive group, the progressive party, the swamp, officially took over after they got rid of JFK. Would you agree?
Yeah. It may have actually been before that. It may have been. Yeah, I think it may have been during Eisenhower's era, and that was by way of the CIA.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
I think that the cornerstones had already been laid, and the reason I say that is his identification of the military-industrial complex during his farewell speech as president. He knew it was there.
Yeah.
He knew it existed when he was running European theater operations during World War II.
Oh, and see, for those of you that don't know, like World War I, World War II history, there were several times we could have won the war, and our military was held back. Would you agree, Patrick?
Yeah.
They did. They hadn't achieved the objective of the war, And so they wouldn't let generals, just like Obama, when Obama actually took like control of day-to-day operations of the military. And because our generals were going in there like, look, we can fucking clean this up in no time. You know, just get the fuck out of our way. And the politicians were like, no, you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't. And they're like, what the hell? That's why a lot of them knew we were screwed in Vietnam. Because they're like, we're not here to win this.
Right.
They're not going to let us win it. And so I guess what you're saying is during Eisenhower, the bureaucracy was large enough to kind of handcuff him.
I believe so. I believe so. I mean, he actually had he had advisors going into Southeast Asia on his watch. There were advisors going into Vietnam, Cambodia. They started then. It wasn't just under Kennedy. It started under Eisenhower. And whether or not they were under his direction, they were as he was commander-in-chief. But is it possible that the OSS was saying, you know what, we need to have some hands-on there. We need to have some feet on the ground. They weren't officially advisors, but there was a presence.
Were the advisors, were they, or do you think they were agents of the OSS?
Yeah, they were operatives.
Okay.
They were operatives. He couldn't have military guys in there, but he could have guys who were military who transitioned.
Yeah, which happens a lot.
It happens all the time.
Yep.
And you know, when guys come out of special forces, they come out of any of the special units in the military, they oftentimes are given an opportunity to work as contractors. And that has ties to government agencies who are working operations around the globe. Yeah. I can't say much more than that. But that's a fact. That's where those guys come from. Who was it? Was it Blackwater?
Yeah.
Blackwater was the outfit that was over in Afghanistan. No, not Iraq. Those guys were former military special forces.
Hey, I've never really heard a full explanation of what happened in the Iran-Contra. Do you remember how that all got going? Wasn't it like Reagan wanted to arm the Contras or something?
There was a confluence of things that they wanted to achieve. I'll have to go back and read on it, but I think there were accusations that Ollie North was running an operation down in South America. And the output of that, it was supposedly drug running. And the contributions that came from that were going to be used to fund operations over in Iran. and it was messy and it was ugly. I can't remember exactly what took place, but it was comparable to what the CIA has done in the past.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's foggy enough that I
If
I hesitate to go much further.
If I recall correctly, the CIA was already down there, and that Reagan, and when I say CIA, it was also the UK and other CIA-like agencies that were leading the revolution, and that Reagan was actually trying to block that from happening. And it was basically Reagan trusted Ollie North and our military, and when it all actually got exposed, the CIA and the bureaucracy went after Ollie North as like, hey, fuck with us again, and this is what you'll get. And I might have that wrong, but I watched a movie on it years ago. That doesn't mean that the movie was accurate, but
here's what I got. The Iran-Contra scandal was a political scandal in the United States that occurred during the second term of Reagan administration between 81 and 86. Senior administration officials secretly facilitated the illegal sale of arms to Iran, which was subject to an arms embargo at the time. The administration hoped to use the proceeds of the arms sales to fund the Contras, an anti-Sandinista rebel group in Nicaragua. Under the Boland Amendment, further funding by the Contras by legislative appropriations was prohibited by Congress, but Reagan figured out a loophole by secretly using non-appropriated funds instead.
Gotcha. Well, I mean, I'm wondering how that was linked with the USSR at the time, because Reagan was really focused on bringing down the USSR.
Right. Well, the way that worked is, my guess is that the arms shipment were part of an operation to free 7 U.S. hostages being held in Lebanon by the Islamic Revolutionary Guard, which is an Iranian group.
Right.
And they were being funded by the Soviet Union. They were being, yeah.
See, there's some crooked shit going on right now, Patrick.
Oh,
yeah, that's saving it right.
You mean now? Really?
Yeah. You think, Ben? Yeah, and what? Oh, hang on a second. What are your thoughts on like what is going on in Israel? Because they're this close to wiping out Hamas,
and they should stay the course.
And that's what Netanyahu has he basically told Biden.
Yep. And Biden has he's starting to fold like a lawn chair because he's getting too much heat. You remember the polls that took place in the primary in Michigan and other states, where they came back with non-committed votes.
Yeah,
20% in some instances.
that's a big deal.
Well, it is. And Biden's reading that and he's going, I can't stand with Israel anymore.
Yep.
I have to start to nuance this so that we get a ceasefire.
Now, how do you think that's going to set with what is left of the religious left?
It's not going to sit well. Let me put it this way: there's a significant movement on the left, obviously, backing Hamas, which is the same as saying it's against Israel.
Yeah.
Israel's going to stay the course, and there's nothing that the U.S. can do about it. Netanyahu is going to smoke out every one of those Hamas members that he possibly can, rightfully so, because he knows that if they get a second chance, they're going for the jugular.
Yep.
And he'll never have this opportunity again.
Yep.
And he views, and I think most Israelis view the people that have been silent. Well, let's back up. When Hamas, when the Gaza Strip was given over and control was ceded to them, there was one election, and that election put Hamas into power.
Was this 62?
No.
Whatever.
This was in the 90s. I think it was 94.
Okay.
And that election took place, and Hamas got into power, and there's never been an election since.
Well, isn't Hamas, isn't that originally, before they were called Hamas, they were known as, like, I want to say Iran trained that group or something along with the actual CIA?
No, that's a different. This is a political arm that subsequently was trained in military operations and got military training.
Okay.
And they did get it from Iran, but they didn't start out that way. So Hamas becomes the political arm, and then eventually becomes the governmental arm.
Yeah.
Of the Palestinians. Because
it's so fucked up over there.
It's seriously fucked up on both sides.
Yeah.
Israel has maintained, and I don't know how truthful this is, that they've always wanted a two-sided deal.
Yep.
Not just one. It's not one party. It has to be two-sided. And Gaza has to be one state. Two-party, one state. That's the only way that thing's going to work. You cannot give Gaza or the West Bank to the Palestinians and let them fend for themselves, because they can't fend for themselves.
Yeah, from what I understand is there's really no organization let's be it. There is no such place as Palestine.
No, there isn't. There isn't. And the guys who have been at the top of the Palestinian or the Hamas organization have lined their pockets. I mean, there's proof of this. There's proof that these guys have bank accounts that are 7, 8, 9 digits long, at the expense of the people in Gaza.
Yep.
The folks who call themselves Palestinians. And that's just outright wrong. Now, how they resolve this remains to be seen. But these guys who have been firing the AK-47s and causing the disruption are all going to be dead soon.
Yeah. Because
Except, I mean, they teach little kids at an early age.
Oh, have you seen some of the training videos? These kids are like 5 and 6 years old.
Oh, yeah.
Learning how to, like, crawl with a weapon on their back, under barbed wire, while our kids are trying to figure out what fucking gender they are. They're over there training for war. And I mean, look at Israel. I think everyone has to join the Israeli army at least once or something like that. Isn't that right?
They all have to serve.
Yeah.
If you're an Israeli citizen, you have to serve.
So they all are trained. And then, of course, you have the Mossad, which is a whole nother level.
Those are the professional psychopaths there.
And psychopath is an accurate word.
Yeah.
They hire people that are like, because there was one guy and his wife on a boat or something, and then friggin' Mossad skinned their daughter in front of them. Ripped the skin off of their daughter. You got to be a certain kind of evil to do that.
Yep.
And we're going to wrap this up. We have our cyber stuff show at noon, right?
Yeah, noon your time, correct.
Yep. All right. So we will be back on how can people watch the cyber stuff show in 1 hour.
Sure. There's if you're a client and you have a crypto laptop, which is the only way you can do this, you go into the portal, and in the portal there is the CALIX Cyber Suite, and you can sign up for a subscription in there. There's the Cyber Stuff subscription, which is $5 a month, or there's the helpline, which includes the access to the video via Cyber Stuff, as well as gives you access to the helpline, which is a live chat.
Yep.
You can submit questions or anything.
Service.
Yeah. You can submit any kind of questions that you have about your laptop. So.
Yep. All right, everyone. We will see you in an hour. Just head over to CALIX Solutions if you are an owner of a crypto laptop, and we'll see you in an hour. Patrick, I'll see you in an hour, buddy.
Sounds good. Adios.
I love you.
Love you. Bye.